Hi everyone, it's Wendy, Spanish Crafter. I bought a couple of kits off Tracy Fox the other week and I just wanted to come along and show you what I'm going to do with some of them. They're not full kits. I prefer buying bits of ephemera more than a full journal kit. So one was labels. Let me just see if I can find this one here. It comes in coloured, one sheet with coloured and one sheet with more browns, vintage colours. So I just love cutting things up like that. So that was one, and the other one was a bumper birds kit. Now this is just gorgeous. And I bought it more for the fussy cut birds like this. But when I got it and printed it out, I thought these are great for making cards. As you know, I've been doing some with toppers from a Ukrainian buyer, Christy Art Design, and I thought they'd be great for toppers on my cards like that. And this is another piece that you could do the same or just use for not decoupage, collage. But what I am going to do, these are great for big journal cards. This one is like 3 tags, and instead of cutting it up, I'm going to fold it and make one of my triple little notebooks. So that's one. Then there was 2 pieces with 2 tags on, so I'm going to do the same there and make a little notebook. These are great, as long as you don't make them too fat, they're great just for slotting in a pocket in your journal or notebook. So I'm going to do 2 with those. Then this one is, you can see the birds that way and you can see the birds that way. So I'm going to make that into a little notebook like that. But because I've only printed this on fairly thin paper, it's probably 160 GSM. I'm not sure whether I need to put it onto thicker card or just leave it like that, make it into a book, and again that will just slot into a pocket. So I'll have a little think about that and then I shall be back. Okay, I'm back with what I've done up to now, and these is I've done 4 little books and I'll make one with you. This is the triple tag, the larger one, and I've put 2 little notebooks in there, all just plain paper. And I buy these notepads from my local stationery shop, and they are, how big, about 8.5 inches by 6, and I just fold. They usually go lengthways because the height is generally about right, but I do end up with some scraps left over, which I'll show you what I do with those. I try not to waste anything at all. So that's 2 little notebooks in there. I think I've used 6 pieces of paper on each one, so it's not too fat. And I've just used the 3 pamphlet stitch and put some torn up either quilt cover or bed sheet, pillowcase, whatever, down the sides, and it's just tied with a piece of organza ribbon and just ties at the side. And so that is still quite slim to fit in a pocket. So that's one. Another one, I tried a new fastener. I made these fasteners following a tutorial by G Care, and it's just a circle of card with a brad, and then you can just glue that part, the circle, to your project, and this swivels round. And I thought, well, could I use it and bend it over? So I glued it on the back, bent it, and then stuck a little circle, and that just holds it together. It's not too fat either, it's about 6 pages again. So I thought that was quite nice. So that was 2. And this was the 2 sort of journal cards, and I've just stapled some scraps in there. So that's another little booklet. And this was the offcut of some of the papers that I cut for the tag shape ones. And I just stapled those and used one of the journal cards from Tracy Fox's ephemera page, and made another one. So with this one, the double tag, all I do is fold them in half, just slightly make the front, just slightly, a millimetre or two long, you know, folded over, then it just hides. Then trim the corner off. Then I've already cut the papers. I've got 6 here, and I need to get a piece of fabric to stick down there. That one is just long enough. So I use fabric glue. Yeah, this is recording. It's only when I was listening to one of my videos this morning, I thought, gosh, you can't half hear the cars going past here. But I had everything ready to film today, otherwise I would have left it until tomorrow when the road's not quite as busy. Right, that just, it's not quite in the middle. Start again. Just glue the fabric on, and then get the pages ready. I'm sure most of you know how to do. Oh, I know what I need to do before I stitch in. I'm just going to trim the corners of the paper off. Just pull that out, then I don't end up snipping the material. So that just sits behind. Yeah, that's fine. And I'll just put a bulldog clip just to hold it while I put the holes in. 1, 2, 3. This is quite an easy one because there's only a few pages. I'm just using crochet thread for this because it's quite strong. Just a big roll of it like this. One of my craft ladies brought a few bags of wool in that she'd got given, and this was in it, so use it up this way. I don't like to waste anything at all. So in the next few videos I'm just going to show you how I use my waste, and I really do hate throwing anything away. So even pieces like that will go back in the drawer and they'll do on my cards. So that is another one done. And like I say, they're slim enough to fit in a pocket in your journal. They're not going to make it too bulky. But while you're here, just a couple of things I do. A strip like this of craft card, I just use my little punch, circle punch, and I use these, as you know, for fasteners on little notepads, or as strengthening round the holes for tags when I'm putting a grommet in. Just gives it an extra layer. So that's what I use with the very thin strips for. The bits of paper like this, they are a bit too thin. I will probably throw those away. But these I use for making concertina books, and they go in little belly bands. And I will link the video below when I first showed these, and you can do them, you can glue a few pieces together and then just fold them backwards and forwards to make a little concertina. And then I put a belly band of just an odd bit of paper around like this, and then this glues into the book in your journal. Then you've got extra journaling space, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute because I've got a little flip through to do. The other thing, any tiny bits of material, I have this box for my snippet scraps, and this is a wax melts box that they come in, and this is what it's full of. Even tiniest bits of material, bits of cotton or twine, bits of serviette, little tiny bits like this, all bits like that I just shove in here, and then every once in a while I get them all out and make a snippet. And again, I will link the video of mine when I showed these, and these are a few that I made the other week. And I think they don't look very good when you don't have the zigzag stitch on. And sometimes if I've got a bit of twine or ribbon, I just put a loop on, and you can put a bulb pin on there with a dangle just to hang off the edge of your journal page. And there's wide one there, and they can be cut up to make pockets. Cut them there and just glue them in, make a pocket. I just love making these, absolutely love them. I try to do them all different colourways, then you've got something ready to put in your journals. So, and I'll just show you the example of this where I put the little concertina books. This is some papers. I think I showed it a couple of weeks ago. It's a kit, Early Owls by Jackie Rockwell Designs, and I'll just do a flip through of one. This has got a gorgeous owl charm on that I got from the local craft shop, tied with organza ribbon, just threaded through the twine that's stitched using the stitches. This is one of the pockets I did last week, the triple pocket, and that's made from a book, map book. And I leave most of my journals fairly empty for writing, because I send some of them when when I do visit the UK. I send them to post pals, children that are either terminally ill or badly, you know, in and out hospital all the time. So they don't understand junk journal as such, but you know, just something to write in, something to look through. And this is another of the pockets there. This is the second part, the 12 by 12 paper. This is the 4-inch piece that's left, and I've just made it into a little corner tuck there. Bear with. And in the centre spread, again, I put little concertina books. And when I do these, like these papers I've got left over here, I either fold them up and get them ready, and then I'll do so many, and I'll put little belly bands on, and I keep them ready in a box. You know, try to do 3 or 4 of one colour. Like there's 2 or 3 blue ones there, a purple one, sort of neutral colours. So I've got them ready to go when I'm doing a notebook. So there's 3 stuck on there. And little belly band, part of a children's storybook. Another of the pockets, that's the 8-inch part with 3 tucks in there, and I just glued that on 3 sides so that you've got a little side pocket there as well. These are from one of the Ukrainian sellers. Is it Christie Art Design or it's So Bohemian? I'm not too sure, but again I'll put links, and I've put a little vellum pocket there with a journal card and a little envelope, and that's what I use the little circles for. And I've just put a bit of spare ephemera in there. So I've got 2 journals here that are ready to go to a good home, and like last time, all I ask is €20, and that covers the $14.75 for certified post. The rest will go into the charity box for the animal charity or the Ukraine charity, because my friend is doing a lot of fundraising for the Ukraine people. So I'm sort of splitting things at the moment between the dogs and that. And so there's 2 there. They're both very, very similar, very similar. I've just put a homemade tassel on there. And these weigh between 200 and 250 grams. Now the limit for my posting is 500 grams, then it goes up quite a substantial amount, so I keep just under 500 grams. So what I'll do, if anybody wants one, I will fill the envelope with bits of ephemera, material, charms, anything, just to get it up to, you know, like about 490 grams, and then you're getting full value of the postage, and I would really love them to go to a good home. So I've got the two from last week's video in the lavender and honeybee, and these two owl ones. Okay, so next week I shall think of some more ideas to show you of using my scraps, and in the meantime I'm going to get folding all these up and making little concertina books. Okay, thanks for joining me today, and I shall see you next week. I'd love you to subscribe, and I would love you to leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and I do read them all and I try to reply to all of them. So thanks again, and I shall see you next time. Bye.